I'm Dr. Timothy O'Donnell, and I would like to welcome you to the city of Rome, the city of Peter and Paul. And I ask you to join me on our Roman pilgrimage, where we are examining the Lenten stational churches of Rome. Today, we go to a fascinating church. It's called i the 12. It is a church dedicated to the memory of the 12 apostles. It's important that we turn our attention to the Apostolic College at this time, reflecting on the fact that clearly, if one reads the Gospel openly, our Lord intended to establish a church. He selected 12 men, 12 special men, who he associated with himself throughout his earthly ministry, who he meant to be the great shepherds and the great leaders of his church. This church that we're going to be going to today, the 12 apostles, is specially dedicated to the memory of Philip and James, but to the entire Apostolic College. Of course, Peter was the head of that college. And the church, in turning our attention to the 12 apostles, that corporate body, under the headship of St. Peter, we think of the present situation of the church today. Our Holy Father, John Paul II, and the great College of Bishops who assist him in his office of teaching. How important it is, as Catholic Christians and for all Christians, to have a deep and abiding love for the church, remembering that Christ our Lord died for the church. He shed his blood for the church. And that the church is not just an institution, certainly not just a political institution. It is the gift of his love. It's the gift of his heart. The church is his bride. And during this Lenten season, all of us are called to examine our hearts. Are we truly being attentive to the teaching of the church? Are we being faithful to the church in her teaching? We certainly don't want to follow in the pattern of Judas and betray the church. So many times today we hear of people uttering the form of "Hail Rabbi" with a kiss for the church, a mock affection as they prepare really in a lot of ways to betray the church. So during this time, let us love the church. Let us praise our Lord Jesus Christ for the gift that he has given us in the church. And let us go to the church in the city of Rome, dedicated to the memory of the 12, the 12. Today, it is very difficult to get a proper view of the newly restored facade of this ancient church. The narthex, however, was designed by Baccio Pontelli and can be dated back to the 15th century. In the narthex, one can see the old lions and remains of an ancient cosmatesque doorway. At the far end of the narthex is carved an eagle, which was taken from the Forum of Trajan. There are several churches in the city of Rome which are dedicated to the memory of the 12 apostles. Earlier this week, we had visited the Titulus Apostolorum, the church dedicated to the memory of the 12, which today, however, is known as St. Peter in Chains. Today, however, we journey to another church that was built in honor of all 12 apostles. Tradition tells us that it was Pope Julius I, who reigned as pontiff from 337 to 352, who built a basilica over what was an ancient military barracks, very close to the Forum of Trajan. And it was here that he dedicated a church specifically dedicated to the memory of Saints Philip and James. Two subsequent popes, Pelagius I, who reigned from 556 to 561, along with John III, from 561 to 564, restored this church in thanksgiving for the great Roman military victory over Totila and the Ostrogoths. John III placed the remains of St. Philip and St. James the Less, which were brought from the east, in this restored basilica, and on the 1st of May, in the year of our Lord 565, he dedicated it to them along with the rest of the Apostolic College. Since that time, the basilica has suffered from horrible devastation from floods, fires, and earthquakes. Very little really remains due to these natural disasters of the ancient basilica. The portico is one of the things that date back to the early period, along with the Chapel of the Crucifix, with its 8 spiral fluted columns at the end of the right nave. Down through the years, the Italians have continued to love this ancient church, and they popularly refer to it as the 12, the 12. One of the reasons for the church's ongoing popularity is because it is located in the very center of the city. It is selected as today's Lenten stational church because today is one of the traditional old Ember Days, an Ember Friday in Lent. It was a day of atonement, a day to seek forgiveness. This was also the day in ancient times when the faithful would gather to approve those candidates who had come forward to seek the priesthood of Jesus Christ. They would gather in this basilica and pray for the intercession of the apostles to protect them as they began to go forward with their vocation to pursue the priesthood of Jesus Christ. There are a number of important items of interest in this church. The above-mentioned portico and chapel, which we've referred to. In the Confessio, which is the lower area below the altar, it's called a Confessio because here one would come to visit the relics and make a profession of faith. It is in this Confessio that the relics of St. James the Less and St. Philip are preserved. Also, underneath the Confessio area, we see relics of the martyrs taken from the Apronian Catacombs on the Via Latina. These relics were brought here for safekeeping by Pope Stephen VI. We are told by an inscription in the church that he carried many of these relics on his back while walking barefoot in penitential procession. Pope Stephen was pontiff from 885 to 891. Also contained in the confession are the remains of many Franciscan saints who have served in this basilica. It was Pope Pius II, the Piccolomini Pope, who entrusted this church to the Franciscan friars, the conventional practice. This was done in the year 1463. On this particular day, the confession is thrown open, and an incredible array of relics are set before the faithful who come to venerate the apostles and the other saints whose memory is preserved in this basilica. The ceiling also contains a beautiful painting by Paciccia entitled The Triumph of the Order of St. Francis. This painting, which is dear to the hearts of all true Franciscans and all the faithful, reveals the saint being received in glory. At this time in Lent, let us turn our attention once again in prayer on this great day of atonement and seek once again forgiveness from the Lord, in the words of the psalmist. O Lord, reprove me not in your anger, nor chastise me in your wrath. Have pity on me, O Lord, for I am languishing. Heal me, O Lord, for my body is in terror. My soul too is utterly terrified. But you, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, save my life. Rescue me because of your kindness. For among the dead no one remembers you in the netherworld. Who gives you thanks? I am wearied with sighing. Every night I flood my bed with weeping. I drench my couch with my tears. My eyes are dimmed with sorrow. They have aged because of all my foes. Depart from me, all evildoers, for the Lord has heard the sound of my weeping. The Lord has heard my plea. The Lord has accepted my prayer. All my enemies shall be put to shame in utter terror. They shall fall back in sudden shame.